That's awesome. We have a place in my server for practicing French together. I've been learning for a little while, but I'm much better written than I am spoken because I'm mostly just cheating by knowing a bunch of Spanish. So how would knowing Spanish help with French? Okay, especially when you're writing things out. Okay, English is a very strange language because it is a Germanic language, but then the French invaded, kind of. I know, they weren't really the French yet. Countries, whatever, nations, it was a different thing back then. Anyway, invaded and left English with a ton of French in our vocabulary, which is why when you're learning Romance languages, you often find like a ton of cognates, right, within English. But that does not mean that English is a Romance language. It is not. At its core, it is a Germanic language. Now, with that said, Spanish and French are both Romance languages. This means that they are ultimately both some janked out Latin. Some Latin that just was like allowed to ferment, you know, and it became like funny Latin pickles. And so they share so much in terms of structure, right? And also in terms of word roots, right? So you're gonna find even more cognates between Spanish and French than you are between French and English. And you're also gonna find like a ton of similarity in terms of grammatical structure, right? So if you already know approximately how to speak Spanish, right, you're gonna have a much easier time learning French than someone who knows English. And if you know English and you're learning French, knowing Spanish is an enormous buff because it means that, especially when it's written out, yeah, buffalo, 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 buffalo. It's a very simple sentence. I actually find it kind of boring when people bring it up, right? Because the deal with buffalo, 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 buffalo is literally just like buffalo is a place, buffalo is an animal, and buffalo is a verb. You know, many such cases. It's not that interesting. How many languages can I speak? I don't know. I can speak pretty bad Mandarin. I can speak pretty bad Spanish. And now at this point, I can speak even worse French. Yeah, mushrooms could mushroom, right? Again, that's a noun, that's a verb. And since there has been this linguistic shift in slang on the internet that allows most nouns to verb, right? You can verb a noun whenever you want now, right? Which means that the whole buffalo, 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 buffalo thing is actually even less interesting. Can I say something in French? Badly. Je te dis beaucoup. Are you happy? Did you enjoy that? It's really bad.